welcome back to my YouTube channel. Today I am really excited because I am joined with my mom, Lisa, and we are going to be doing some cooking. So Mom, tell them what we are cooking today.
So she finally invited me back to her channel today, and I think it's only because I told her I was cooking, but I think some of you know I'm a nurse, and years ago I have to take care of a patient. You know, I always have a story. So years ago I was taking care of a patient who was a very brittle diabetic. He was very ill, and he was talking about, we talked a lot about cooking. He loved to cook. He had a lot of recipes, and I got to work one night and I had this cookbook that he had bought for me. It's called Cooking for Two. It's a Southern Living Cooking for Two. I had told him I was just getting married, and there's a recipe in this book that I love, and it is for zucchini bread, and we're gonna make it today. It's the Southern Living zucchini bread recipe, so we're gonna cook that. And then I'm also going to make a Mediterranean pasta dish with some leftover chicken and vegetables that I have here. So we're gonna make both of those things for today.
Woo! Let's get started.
So this is my day to clean out my refrigerator, cook anything that I haven't cooked. I'm actually making some food to take to a friend's house for today that had surgery, and I am using up things that I have here at my house too. So earlier today, I just wanted y'all to see, I made a fruit salad. So I needed some pineapple for the zucchini bread, so I cut up a fresh pineapple that I had. Normally I would use a can of pineapple, and mixed it with some kiwi and some apple and some oranges, the leftover pineapple, to make a fruit salad for the family. They like to have a fruit salad. And the other thing I'm doing today is I've got the last of my peppers from the garden, and what I'm doing with all these peppers I've been getting, you'll notice I made some already. I've got them in the air fryer. I'm air frying the peppers, and then I'm putting them in the freezer. And just a Ziploc bag, I'm kind of laying them out on a sheet pan, freezing them individually, putting them in the freezer. I've already been making some bags of them. And see all the different peppers. And what I'm going to do is when I want to make fresh salsa, I can just pull out a handful of my frozen peppers from my garden this year. So this is the very last of them. I'm going to finish air frying them up.
That's awesome.
It's pretty awesome.
It's actually really smart.
Mm-hmm. So I guess it's time to get to the zucchini bread. Let me put some of this stuff away, and then we'll finish it. Okay, so you know, making zucchini bread is so easy, and I'm actually doubling the recipe that's in the book. You know, it's just so simple, and it's a good way to serve zucchini to your family. But I'm doubling my recipe, which is 4 eggs. What am I doing now? I'm gonna beat the eggs, and I'm gonna add sugar. Ah! Did you get that? I had dogs underneath my feet. I'm gonna beat the eggs, and I'm gonna add the sugar while the eggs are beaten. So I'm gonna turn it on right there. Let those eggs whip up, and let me grab the sugar. Now y'all, this is not a keto-friendly recipe, so we're just gonna get that out of the way from the very beginning. That's not what we're cooking today. I'm beating the eggs. Remember, I'm doubling this recipe, so it has 2 cups of sugar for 2 loaves of zucchini bread. And this is a good thing, y'all. My friend that had surgery, this is a good thing to take to her. And a cup of vegetable oil. And 2 teaspoons of vanilla. I'm just gonna let that whip itself up a little bit. I'm supposed to beat it till it's creamy, and this is looking pretty creamy. So once it's creamy, if you'll notice what I've done with the zucchini, gosh, I should have saved it. Y'all, it's so easy to shred zucchini. I used my shredder, and I just took my zucchini and just rubbed it against my shredder, and I shredded a couple of cups of zucchini. So this is when you add the zucchini.
Look at Cooper in trouble playing over here. The oldest dog and the youngest dog over here having a fun time together. So the growling in the background is them.
And I'm adding some pineapple. I'm actually just gonna take this off here. So basically you're stirring the zucchini and the pineapple in. So some of you are probably thinking this is similar to kind of like a carrot cake even. I mean, it has a real similarity, just using different vegetables. And I pre-mixed the dry ingredients. So it's flour and baking soda and baking powder and salt. And I'm just gonna stir them in a little bit at a time. And then we're gonna put these in the oven and let them bake while I'm putting together the Mediterranean pasta. You can smell the cinnamon and the pineapple and the zucchini, and it smells so good. I'm just gonna put them in my loaf pans. Loaf pans were greased. I'm just gonna split it up. I have two, only have the 1 glass loaf pan since I doubled the recipe so I could take some to my friend. Just one of them is gonna cook a little bit faster, so I'll just have to pay attention. I don't want them to burn on the bottom. And so one of the things that I do sometimes, I don't know if you ever do this, but I have my air pan that I just put underneath it. And that really helps to keep any kind of baked good from burning on the bottom.
And how long do they cook in a 350-degree oven?
1 hour.
All right, zucchini bread is in. There's me. Hi. And Michael, want to say hello?
Hello there.
All right.
Okay, do you ever cook and have an uh-oh? I just did when I realized I had a whole bunch of walnuts chopped up on the counter that I wanted to mix in with the zucchini bread. So, yeah. I just pulled it out of the oven real quickly, and I'm just stirring my walnuts into the batter. I think the recipe calls for pecans. Pecans are good, are really good too, but I'm out of pecans and I have walnuts. Hey, that works pretty good. I was afraid, I wasn't sure how I was gonna fix this mess, but I think I got it.
Now it's ready to go in the oven.
Now it's ready to go in the oven. Goodness gracious.
What you doing, Mom?
So I'm gonna cut up some garlic. I got some purple onions and some tomatoes cut up that I'm gonna make in the pasta. Have you met Blue? Blue was one of my hobbies during the COVID lockdown. So see that big piece of coral in there? I picked that up off a beach in Mexico, and everybody yelled at me for hauling that piece of coral back in my suitcase because I always pick stuff up. But doesn't he look pretty in there with Blue, my beta? And I'm growing a pineapple. That's been my other hobby. So
Growing all the vegetables.
growing whatever I happen to cook. So yeah, and I'm like I said, I was chopping up my olives here, or my onions and garlic here to get it ready. So I have water boiling. I'm gonna make up some pasta, and I'm just gonna make a little quick sauce. So I have about a 1/2 cup of olive oil. And as that's heating up, I'm gonna throw the garlic in there in a minute and then make a little sauce with the garlic and the tomatoes. While the olive oil was heating up, just gonna show you all the rest of the ingredients. So I had bought a roast chicken a couple of days ago, and we had some roast chicken sandwiches. And you know, what do you do with roast chicken? I was gonna make chicken salad, and then I thought about that I had spinach and feta, and I decided to make this little Mediterranean pasta. So I took all the rest of the chicken off the bones, and I've cut it up. I've got it ready here. Here, dog. And I just put salt and pepper on that. I've got some spinach all cut up. I've got tomatoes cut up. I have some onions and garlic I'm gonna add here in a minute to the olive oil. I'm cooking some spaghetti. I got some feta in there, and I think I cut up some olives too.
I saw them, they're over there.
Oh yeah, I've got some Kalamata olives that are pitted, cut up. I'm just gonna mix all this together and make kind of a Mediterranean pasta. I used about a 1/2 cup of olive oil. I cut up this purple onion. I'm not gonna use all, well, it wasn't a very big onion, but I like the onion to cook a little bit. I'm not a big fan of raw onion these days. I'm gonna go ahead and add my garlic that I chopped up. I'm using, I think, let's see, like 4 cloves of garlic. I went ahead and cut the tomatoes in half, but as soon as that garlic starts smelling real aromatic, it just smells so good and garlicky, I'm just gonna add the tomatoes and let them cook a little bit, and the chicken that I put salt and pepper on the chicken. getting it all ready to mix with the pasta and the feta cheese. This is something so simple. I think I'm gonna add a little bit more salt and pepper. So my Greek story is my sister married a Greek man, and her wedding was so beautiful. If you've ever seen that, my big fat Greek wedding, she converted to the Greek Orthodox Church, and she had the most amazing wedding, and which is great. So she and I have different biological fathers, and I had my DNA done a couple of years ago, and it turns out I'm 6% Greek. So, you know, the rest of me is pretty boring. It's English and it's pretty much English with a little Irish and Scottish mixed in. But I was so proud. I had a little bit of spiciness in my DNA. That's where my little spicy comes from. And I like to tease my sister that I'm more Greek than she is. So this is my Greek, one little dab at making kind of a Mediterranean recipe. But it's just a big joke that we have. And it turns out I had to research where the Greek came from. So it turns out my great Texas grandfather got a mail order bride from the Mediterranean. She came through Brazil and came to Texas and married him. And that's where my little bit of Greek comes from. So I'm gonna add spinach to the mix here. I just want the spinach to wilt a little bit. I got almost too much, but once it starts wilting, there'll be plenty of room in here. Y'all, doesn't this look good? Nice and fresh vegetables. I'm gonna sprinkle on it some Greek all-purpose seasoning. I'm just gonna put it on, and I'm gonna take it off the heat and set it aside, and when the pasta's ready, we're just gonna mix it in with that. So boil the water, and I'm gonna set the pasta in to boil. I'm boiling it whole. You know, linguine would have been good to do this with, but I had boxes and boxes of spaghetti because I don't know how it happened, but I think we wanted to make sure that if we'd always have enough spaghetti at the house for Michael to make his spaghetti once a week. We never want to run out of supplies for Michael's food. So I've cooked the spaghetti, so I'm gonna drain that pasta right here into the sink. I'm using my son Michael, his fancy little spaghetti pot he had me buy, but look, it has these little handle things, and it closes it and you can strain it, and it actually works really good for cooking pasta. So I'm going to add the pasta to my big metal bowl, and I think I'm just going to add just a little extra dab of olive oil and some salt and pepper to it. I'm going to stir it in. Hey Katherine, grab that pasta stirrer over there. I'm just going to add a little salt and pepper and stir it all up. And then we're just going to add the veggies. Look at that, spinach and chicken. Doesn't it look good? Got too many things cooking in this kitchen at one time. Just going to mix all that in there. I'm also going to add some pitted Kalamata olives. Just going to stir all that together. I tasted it. Remember, always add your seasoning to taste. So I'm adding a little extra salt, and I added a little bit more of the all-purpose Greek seasoning. So once all this is stirred in, what I am going to do is I am going to add the feta cheese. And y'all, you could add some extra Parmesan if you want when you eat it, but pretty much this is ready to go.
I love feta cheese.
I'm going to break up a couple of those big pieces. I'm going to stir it up. So here we go. Just a nice little fresh vegetable Greek pasta with feta cheese, tomatoes, Kalamata olives, some chicken. And y'all, this is good hot or cold. So it is, I'm going to put it in a serving dish and take some over to my friends so they can have some for dinner with some zucchini bread. And that's it. I hope y'all enjoyed that recipe. Okay, y'all, the zucchini bread is done. And if you look in this corner, you see all that green, nutty zucchini goodness in there. And the reason we know how good it is because it was sticking to the pan and a big chunk came off. So me and Katherine already ate that big chunk. And,
Oh, it was so good.
It was so good. It turned out perfect. So I encourage you to try the zucchini bread recipe and serve it to your family and see what they think. I hope my friend enjoys it, and I hope y'all do too. Thank you.
Well, y'all, it was so much fun cooking with my mom today. Well, she did most of the cooking because she was sharing her recipes, but I hope that you enjoyed it, and if you do, let us know down below, and she will share many more of her delicious recipes with y'all if you're interested.
Thanks so much. I appreciate it, everybody. Hope you enjoy.
We will see y'all again real soon with another video. Bye, y'all.
Bye, y'all.
Blow 'em a kiss.
Mwah.